day off in the history of Rancho. I'm correcting the date, it said 57, but talking to Dr. Passy is 48 years. Wow. You know, about 5 years ago, Dr. Passy, we gave you the county is a Costa border, Valleys, 45 years. Dr. Passy, you stand strong. You are one of the founders of Rancho. We thank you, we respect you, your memories always will be with us and with your patients.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we like to see you always in good health and you visit us, Doctor. We will miss you, but you will be in our hearts. Always will be This is a small plaque on behalf of the PSA, Rancho, Department of Surgery, everybody here. I'd like to present you with this. Go ahead and take a picture for him.
I guess I was supposed to say something.
I said it, Dr. Passy.
I'm overwhelmed by all the people here today. And it's exuberating to see that this happens. This is over a long period of time. It's hard to say that I'm 85, because I'm not really 85, I'm still 56. I'm 56, but that's okay. I've accepted that now. You know, it's interesting in terms of where we are, where we're going, and what we've done, where we've gotten here. We've got to get us here. I was born in Brooklyn, by the way, 1930. And my family wanted to take a vacation for them. We had family here in LA. When I was 4, we came here, we settled down, and we needed someone, a family doctor, to take care of us. So we got one. And I was really impressed at the age of 4 or 5 with this doctor, named was Dr. Polgers. He came into our house. He looked like he owned us. It looked like he was part of the family at the very beginning. And ever since that little beginning, he took care of us. We were his patients, and he was our doctor. It was a good feeling inside, and that feeling gave me the idea that, well, maybe I want to be a doctor. I can get this feeling. It's a good feeling inside. I want to exhume it and show what we can do with it. So I said, fine. So through the years, I worked to see, try to get into school, and I finally got through the school, medical school I was in. I was now a resident at LA County. And when you're in LA County, they let you work in the emergency room. And as you work in the emergency room, they give you ability to do house calls. Now, you probably don't understand what house calls are. House calls is when the doctor goes to the patient's house because they don't have the transportation or they're sick enough and they can't come to the hospital. That's house call. Don't forget that. But then, when they came in, I was on one night and they called me. I took my little black bag and I went to this little place in East LA, about a 2-bedroom home, 3 kids, 2 relatives, and a husband and wife. And I think they were all sick. But you know, as I went through them, I took care of them. I got to meet them, I got to understand them. They were coming out of town, they didn't have anything else to go. They weren't really well-to-do, they needed help. And so I sort of expounded to them what we could do, how we can help them. And they told me all their feelings and thoughts and ideas. And you know, the fact that we molded together was what I was looking for in the patient-doctor relationship. I felt it. And that was it. It's a good feeling to have. It's not just taking care of the patients, but to understand the patients and what they're doing for you and what they can do for you and what you can do for them. It's a great feeling. I've never forgotten it. As I finished my residency, Rancho was looking for an ENT specialist. They didn't have a service at that time. They had a service, but they didn't have a division. So I said, sure, I'll come in. I came into Rancho in 1967. I came into, I saw there's a lot of things that we could do, and we did it. We came to the department, I built things up. I built up the department a little bit. We developed a cleft palate team. We developed an oncology team. We developed a head and neck problem, to the point where people in the community and the three medical schools understood that we were here as an ENT department, division, to help the community. And we were starting to build up and develop ourselves. Well, it came to the point where I really needed some help. and so I looked around, and there was a young individual who was an emergency room physician. And I didn't know if he wanted an emergency room physician to help me, but he said to me, he said, you know, I'm really interested in ENT. I'd like to learn all you can. I said, well, you know, I've been at the university, I've been training a lot of residents, maybe I can train you. His name, John Farinacci. Yeah. 23 years ago, and he developed, and in those ensuing years, he was probably one of the better residents that I've trained in my entire career. He was outstanding. He taught me things that I didn't understand. One of the things he taught me is how to treat patients. He was a master of it. He just didn't treat the patient. He treated their emotions, their feelings, what they wanted, what they needed, as well as their medical problems. He would not only take the people and treat them, but he'd go into the history and find out where they came from, where they're going, what they're interested in. That's creating a relationship between the patient and the doctor. And it's so important because he did that with such honesty and integrity that he was known for this. He would just not be a patient, a doctor for your life, population. He, as an individual, every patient he had was his family, and he treated it as such. And that's one thing that I learned from him. Thank you, John. It was wonderful. As we progressed, we started getting busier and busier. And the community was understanding, and we got to the point where we got to be known, not just superficially, but the three medical schools in the area, the physicians in the area, and particularly the patients in the area, recognized us as outstanding. That's why they came to Rancho. That's why they stayed at Rancho. That's why they understood Rancho was a place where they could be taught and understanding one another and have a patient-doctor relationship. So we grew big and big and big. And this continued until the computer came along. Not only the computer, but the electronics dealing with communications with people. How we communicate with them, how we take care of the records and make sure the records are good and secure. Well, we need that for them, that's true. But we shouldn't lose track of why they're here, why the records are here, why we do this. Because of the patients, not the records. Without patients, you and I would not be here. We wouldn't need records if it wasn't for the patients. We've got to understand that there's a patient-doctor relationship that molds you into one unit. And I think this is one thing that will keep us together. And this is what they did. This is what we try to explain. But then the computer came out and it became progressive. Everyone understood it. They wanted to do it. The industry said, hey, I'm going to sell more computers. So now they started saying, well, you're no longer a doctor. You're a provider. You're going to be a provider of clients, not patients. So now we're known as a provider of patients. And we've done away with patient-doctor relationship. We lost the emotional aspect of taking care of patients. That's wrong. It's not the way we should treat it. Because if we're thinking of where we grow, we don't grow with computers. We grow with patients. Patients come to us, we treat them right, they treat us right, they bring in their family and their friends, and we build a sense, a point of where we can start listening to it, being a true patient-doctor care. We're losing that. I'm losing it. I think that if we all understand what we're up against, these computers and the progressive, don't get me wrong, computers and electronics are progressive in maintaining the integrity and the care of the patient. But don't forget, we have a patient who has a thought and an emotion. Computers don't. We can do away with computers, but we can't do away with patients. We need patients. We can do away with computers. Don't let them take away your doctorship. You worked a long time to get your doctor, your MD degree, whatever doctor you profess. Don't lose it. You're still a doctor, not a provider. Provider is a robot. I don't like robots. I think it's something that needs to be changed. You can change it. Only you can do it. I try to profess this, but no one listens, only because the industry is pushing us to use more computers and more things that we can contribute to the production and cooperation of patients. Wrong. That's not what you want to do. You want to build a patient statue, a place where the patient can come to you and you can go to them. And once you do that, you'll develop this again. Don't let them call you providers. You're not a provider, you're not a robot. You're a doctor. You worked a long time to get that degree. Keep it. I don't mean to be so verbose, and I don't mean to tell you what things to do, but just my feelings that I've had for many years. And I just had to express it to someone. But now that I'm leaving, I won't have any way to go expressing it to you. Maybe this one group can spread the rumor and see what happens, see how you feel about it. I don't want you to take my feelings. Take your own feelings. Put these thoughts in your mind and say where you are. Keeping in mind you're a doctor. You're not a provider. You have patients. You don't have clients. Industry has clients. You don't want them because you want the emotion that the patient will give you in giving you the satisfaction of being a doctor. Don't lose it. This is the place. I must tell you that Rancho has given me the opportunity to grow and be progressive in the way I wanted it. And I really appreciate that. All of you participating in this. And I appreciate the way that you let me grow as I did. I hope I was progressive enough to give the hospital a little seniority, a little prestige. It's up to you now to carry it through. Don't let them do what you don't want. And let's see where we can go with it. Thanks to all the faculty. They all contribute to this feeling of patient-doctor relationship. Thank you very much.